Rock and Roll Geek Show 688.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA, online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Thursday, March 24th, 2016, when I'm recording this show, and it is 8:01 p.m. I apologize for not doing a show last week. I feel terrible about it, but I was so effing busy. I just did not have time. I didn't even have time to lay on the couch and sleep even one night. I usually like to just have one night where I'm not doing anything. Last week I was doing stuff every single night. I had a Featherwitch gig on Friday. I had a Butler's gig on Saturday. 2 rehearsals that week. Too much to do, and there was no time to do a show. So I apologize, and consequently I have a ton of audio comments and show reviews and other things like that to do. And I have a lot of music to play as well. I'm going to start off with something that was originally sent to me by Todd Cunningham, friend of the show. I've been meaning to play this for a while, and I wasn't really... The band's called the Struts. I wasn't really on board with the Struts. Somebody actually called and left a show review of the Struts a long time ago that I never played. And I really wasn't that on board with it because the music sounds good, the songs are catchy, but you have to get the full effect of this band, the Struts. You have to see the band, and I saw a video for this song called "Could Have Been Me." I think that is the song, and the band looks totally cool. They remind me a little bit of the Darkness. Singer is a little bit like Freddie Mercury, just like Justin Hawkins. Not as good as Justin Hawkins. Justin Hawkins way more rock. The Darkness a little bit more rock as well. Struts, but the Struts have catchy tunes, and the singer looks really cool, and the band looks rock and roll. So after watching that video, I'm kind of coming around. Also, Billy Rowe, friend of the Butlers, or guitar player for the Butlers, and brother in rock of me. And I used to play with him in Jet Boy, and the story goes on and on. Okay. And maker of Rock and Roll Relics guitars, by the way. Great guitar company. Really works of art that he does. Anyway, he told me, he says, "Oh, have you heard the Struts?" And I had heard of them, and you got to hear them. You got to really give them a chance because the singer channels Freddie Mercury, and their songs are catchy as hell. So, that being said, I'm going to play a song from the Struts. The album is called Everybody Wants. I guess Everybody Wants the Struts. Get it? This song is called Put Your Money on Me.
It's hard being a slave to your body and soul.
We're winning when our eyes meet. Oh yeah. You got the hand I can't beat. Oh yeah. Oh, I bet your body's so sweet. Oh yeah. So roll your thighs to my feet. Oh yeah. We're winning when our eyes meet. Oh yeah. You got the hand I can't beat. Oh yeah. So put your money on me. Put your money on me. So put your money on me. Put your money on me. Oh, put it down.
There you go. That is the Struts. The record is called Everybody Wants the Struts. That song is called Put Your Money on Me. Good tune, super catchy. The band, like I said, you got to see the video. Look for the Struts on YouTube or whatever. The band looks rock and roll as hell, except for the bass player wears his bass too high. That's all I will say about that. But worth checking out. I am a fan of those kind of bands that go harken back to the classic rock band. So carrying the torch, and I'm for any band that's carrying the torch of rock and roll, and I think the Struts are. So thank you, Todd Cunningham, for turning me on to the Struts. All right, before I get into the donors, last night I went out with my good friend Eric Mortensen, the Metal CPA. He took me to see Pat Travers at a place called Biscuits and Blues, which is a tiny, tiny blues club in San Francisco, right in the heart of the tourist section of Union Square. He asked me, Craig, Billy, and Andy, the drummer for the Butlers. Andy, by the way, the Butlers have a new drummer, Andy from Death Angel. He's playing in the Butlers, at least for the time being. He invited us all to go see Pat Travers on him, and nobody else could go. But I said, okay, I'll go. I've never been to Biscuits and Blues before, and I've heard good things about that club. So we went to see Pat Travers last night. Before we went to the show, we stopped off and had happy hour dinner at this place called Le Central in Nob Hill, which it's a French bistro, famous for their what do you call it? What's the bean stew? The cassoulet. It's a bean stew with sausage and duck confit. Their cassoulet has been cooking for 42 years. Look it up, Le Central in San Francisco. The broth of the cassoulet has been going for 14,000 and something days. We had a nice, sat at the bar, had a nice meal there, and drank several beers. I had 3 Kronenbergs, and Eric had Jaeger and several Coors Lights. Then we walked over to the Biscuits and Blues. The show was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. We got there at 7, and as I'm standing there getting ready to go in, Pat Travers walks by. He's got a drink in each hand, a cocktail in his left hand and a cocktail in his right hand, and he's walking through the crowd into the backstage area. So I'm thinking this is going to be a good one. Pat Travers is going to be wasted. Butlers played with Pat Travers, I think, a while ago, and supposedly the story goes somebody smoked a joint with Pat Travers backstage, and he couldn't finish the set. He was so stoned. So I didn't know what to expect, but it was going to be at a tiny little blues club, and his guitar player quit the band, and so did the drummer. I forget their names, but they were good musicians. But he was doing the show as a 3-piece. Didn't know what to expect, but it was a fantastic show. It started at 8 and ended at 9:30. Here is a little bit. I started filming it with my phone, and I was putting it on the Periscope. By the way, if you don't subscribe to the Periscope, you missed things like video of Pat Travers. I videotaped a lot of him and streamed it on the Periscope. My Periscope is, I think it's just RNR Geek on Periscope. But this is what it sounded like. The guy was absolutely shredding on guitar. Played lots of blues songs. More, I would say, half blues and half hits. But man, was he good on the guitar. Listen to this. I think this is Red House. theory, and Chuck Spear, maybe you can confirm or deny this. I don't want to say anything out of turn, but my theory is the guys in the band, the guys that left the band left probably because the money's not rolling in like it used to. The Biscuits and Blues is a tiny club. It holds, the capacity is like 119 people or something like that. We had a seat, the waitress sat us down at our table. It was all seated. Sat us down at our table directly in front of the middle of the stage. We were front row in our table, and we could not have had a better seat in the house. And it sounded so good. Just listen to this. The guy is absolutely a master on guitar. And if he's playing this, if this is drunk,
I think I might go back over yonder. Back over yonder, cross that hill.
It was such a joy to be at the front watching him play, man. The guy was just shredding. And at the end of the set, oh, by the way, during the set, he was looking at his watch the whole time. So it was like he has to do these gigs to make a living. The guy plays because he has to. The guy is a road dog and a master of the guitar. Just a fucking master. So it was a great show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly. Thank you, Eric Mortensen, for taking me to see the great Pat Travers. Yeah. It was awesome, man. It was fucking awesome. So awesome. There you go. All right. Enough of that. I can listen to that guy play guitar all day. It's such a joy to watch somebody who's just a master on the guitar. Pat Travers, Ted Nugent, Jeff Beck. The list goes on. Those Billy Gibbons, I can just watch those guys and be mesmerized for hours on end. I could have sat there all night. It was the hour and a half he played went by so fast. So again, thank you, Eric Mortensen, for taking me to see Pat Travers. Which, by the way, I forgot to thank Eric a long time ago. He gave me a really cool bottle opener. That's a scorpion encased in acrylic. Thank you for that, too, Eric Mortensen. All right, why don't we thank some donors? In the background, I'm going to play brand new Lita Ford, which is called Time Capsule. It's stuff that she recorded in the 80s. And when she was escaping her husband down in the islands where she lived, she grabbed a bunch of demo tapes or a bunch of reel-to-reel tapes out of her closet. And this is what she put together, was a record called Time Capsule. Is it out yet? I don't know if it is. Let me see. When does this thing come out? I'm looking. It's released. Oh, the release date's April 15th. So it's not out yet. It's a world exclusive, friends. I'm going to play, in the background, a song that was written by her and Gene Simmons. On this song, Lita Ford vocals, guitar, bass. Gene Simmons playing bass. Bruce Kulick is also playing guitar, and this guy Roger Carter, who played drums on all the tracks. Here we go. Where is it? Okay, Rotten to the Core. Here we go. There are several ways you can donate, but one of them is go to patreon.com/rnrgeek. You can donate to the show, like my good friend Chiaki Hinohara from the Metal Moment podcast and Japanese Metalhead show. By the way, Chiaki and I have a crabbing trip planned for Saturday, and we're having a crab feast. He invited the people in UFO. UFO's playing Saturday night, but I don't think they're going to make it to my house. But they have an invitation to come to my house and have some crab. Thank you, Chiaki, for donating. Thank you, Brian Springer, for donating on Patreon. Chiaki donates $5 every episode. Brian Springer donates $5 every episode. Thank you to Dave Slusher, my podcast mentor and co-host of Mad at Dad. New live show every Monday night. MadAtDadPodcast.com. Thank you to Eric Stowell for the $2 every episode. Thank you to Robert Harvey for the $2. Thanks to Corey Koehler for the $1. Those are the Patreon donors.
When evil rise, you're gonna feel it right into the core. Lie after lie, you'll hear it.
Thank you to the people who donated on PayPal. Adrian Boshan, Bosch Rock on the forums and on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, which is not managed by me, by the way, and not created by me, but he's on the page. Thank you to Keenan O'Meara from all the way from Australia, $5. Thanks, Keenan. Thank you to Gregg Long for the $5. Thank you to Dave Franco for the $10. Thank you to Alodie Johns, my first girlfriend, for the $30. Thank you, Alodie. I take a sip of this fine Tecate to you. Thank you to Dean Gillispie for the $5. Thanks to James Venners for the $10. Thanks to Will Morel Van Morik. I hope I'm saying the name right. I might not be. Could be Billy. I don't know. Richard he donated $25. Thanks to Richard Strom for the $5. Thank you to Richard Fusey, new donor, for the $2. Thank you to Andrew Howe for the $5. Thanks to Dale Roller. Wait, did I already say that? Dale Roller for $5. Andrew Howe for the $5. Thanks to Jer O'Carroll for the $5. Thanks to Jason Shepard for the $10. Thanks to friend of the show Todd Cunningham for the $10. Thank you to Jeffrey Canaparoli for the $2. Thanks to Lassie Satvighagen for the $2. Thanks to Stephen Mascord for the $5. Thanks to BJ Lisco for the $10. Thanks to John Skiller for the $2. Thanks to Michael Valoria for the $2. Thank you to Ralph Miller, friend of mine and friend of the show, for the $10. Thanks to Bradford Page for the $2. Thanks to Anthony Lascalzo for the $2. Thanks to Michael Stevens for the $10. Thanks to Chris Stanley for the $10. Chris Stanley told me that Dan Baird might be coming out this way. I hope so. And I hope I get to meet Chris Stanley in person. Thank you to Dave Jackson and School of Podcasting for the $10. Thank you to Dan McBride for the $5. Thanks to Sigmund Hydasher for the $5. Thanks to Michael Mack for the $2. Thanks to John Baveri for the $5. Peter Spark for the $2. Thank you to Patrick Shanahan for the $2. Let me back it up a little bit so I can end this on time.
My greasy hands are never satisfied. The battle of the edge, yeah, the mom wanna try. Right to the car.
Thanks to Patrick Shanahan for the $20. Thanks to Jeff Feelalicky for the $10. Thanks to David Ivey for the $5. Thanks to everybody who donated. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, rotten to the core death, as Lita Ford says. I take a sip of this fine Tecate to everybody who donates. Seriously, friends, your donations keep the show alive. Even if it's barely alive. You rotten fuck. All right. Speaking of Eric Mortensen and Pat Travers, I think Eric Mortensen left me a show review. Let's see if we can find it right here.
Hey, Michael Butler. This is Eric Mortensen,
Hey, Eric.
the Metal CPA, checking in from San Mateo, California, with a Ace Frehley
nice. Okay.
post-show review as promised. So this is a belated review. This happened going on it'll be 3 weeks ago from tomorrow. So it was Friday, March 4th, 2016. And I had come across an announcement from Ace's Facebook page that
Ace
he was
Frehley.
starting his little mini tour out here in California. And
Which
there were two shows that caught my eye. Originally, I was looking...
By the way, John Astronomy from Talking Metal is Ace's assistant and probably tour manager. Probably was with him.
At March 5th in Beverly Hills, which meant taking a flight down there. But he was playing the day before on March 4th, so Friday in San Miguel, California. Had no clue where that was.
Me neither.
But found out it was near Paso Robles, about 10 minutes away. It's about a 3-hour drive from the Bay Area.
Okay, that's not bad.
Found out a friend of mine was actually going to be at the show, so I decided to nix the Beverly Hills option and decided to make a road trip. Turned out to be a solo road trip because couldn't get anybody to go. It meant taking off Friday.
To me, those are the best kinds of trips, when you go by yourself. I like that.
For the ride down there, so decided to wing it and got my tickets online. Actually opted for the, what are they calling this? The Ace Frehley VIP experience package.
I got to look for that.
$325 gets you in the door with a ticket, a VIP laminate, a lanyard, a T-shirt, photo that you can have them sign, a bunch of pics, a poster, and you get to have him sign one item for that $325 package. And if you want him to sign a guitar,
all right,
let
me see what you got. I'm on acefrehley.com. Okay, for the VIP experience, $325. You get a tour laminate, like Eric said. You get it includes, for $325, you get a concert ticket located in Ace's personal VIP seating area. You get a meet and greet with Ace. You get a personal photo with the legend himself, Ace Frehley. You get a limited edition Space Invader tour poster, autographed and personalized. You get a VIP tour laminate. You get a VIP tour shirt. You get a autographed Space Invader CD, deluxe version. You get an autographed 8x10. You get a Space Invader sticker. You get 3 limited Space Invader guitar picks in different colors. And Ace will autograph one item of your choice except guitar parts, or musical instrument items. Note, substitutions of equal or higher value items may occur due to availability. All items will be provided backstage before the meet and greet with Ace and will not be shipped. Your name will be on Ace's VIP guest list and tickets will be available at will call. All right, there you go. That's what you get for your $325. All right, back to you, Eric.
An extra $500, I think it was. Did I have something right? Yeah, I think it was extra $500. So
if you wanted to get a guitar signed, it cost $500 more. So
you get 2 items for $500 for $800 and whatever dollars it was. I actually ran into one guy there who actually showed up with a Les Paul copy and was going to have that signed. So
for $500,
I just opted for the lower, just the...
I'll sign you a guitar for $500. All right.
Get in the door and have them sign stuff. And you actually do get access to a VIP special seating area. Anyway, I'll get to that later. This is a quite long and involved story. Hopefully you and your listeners will get a little kick out of it. I know we went over it quickly when we went and saw Pat Travers last night, so I promised you I'd give you the nitty-gritty for your listeners. So here we go. Friday, March 4th, 2016. I hit the road, leaving San Mateo. I left here about 1 o'clock and headed towards Paso Robles, which is the hotel that I think it was the Best Western I was going to stay in nearby, about 10 minutes from the venue. About a 3-hour drive, gas and pit stops. Got there about 4:30. Really had nothing to do the whole evening. I'm there by myself. The one mission is to check out Ace, get him to sign my leather jacket, enjoy the show, and head home the next morning. So I had really nothing to do. So checked in 4:30. I decided to call the venue around 5:30 because according to the instructions, here's what the instructions say. I actually get an email from his manager, John Ostrowski.
There you go.
Hello, rock soldiers. My name is John Ostrowski. I'm Ace's tour manager, and I'm contacting you with some important information regarding your purchase of the Ace Frehley VIP Experience Package scheduled for Friday, March 4th, at the Ranch. That's the name of the venue. It's like a country bar. The Ranch in San Miguel, California. So I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but he gives you specific instructions on first you go to will call, get your ticket, and then when the doors open, they tell you when to go to the merch booth, and you get all your goodies, and then you go back and you do the meet and greet, and then the show, and all that good stuff. So I called the venue at 5:30. I don't know if there's going to be 5 people there or 500 people there. I mean, I had never heard of San Miguel.
If there's 5 people at $325, that's $1,600 and something dollars. So that's just $1,600 extra pocket money right there, on top of his guarantee, which is I'm going to guess maybe it's $5,000. I don't know. That's only if 5 people show up to the meet and greet.
The tour was way under promoted. Many of the friends that I have in the Bay Area hadn't even heard of it. So I just called the venue and said, hey, it looks like, according to the ticket here, actually not the ticket, but the instructions, the doors open at 7, shows at 8. If I get there early, can I get my ticket early? What's the lineup protocol? And she said, just get here whenever you want. Tell me your name, and I'll get you your ticket, and that way you don't have to come back and wait and whatever you want to do. So I just decided, hell, I'm just going to drive down there and hang out at the venue, maybe have a few beers if the bar's open, or if not, find a restaurant. So I get there
hang out with some other Ace fans.
I'd say about 6 o'clock, and that's when the chaos ensues.
Oh, goody.
Even though for the most part, the evening was well choreographed, and John Ostrowski, his manager, had things pretty much well under control. I'll save the punchline.
Under control, like it was going to be a riot?
And of why the story has its humorous value to it. So anyway, I'm there by myself at the will call. They have no documentation of any VIP packages. Now remember, this is $325, so I have nothing except for an email in hand as proof of what I purchased. So she has no clue what's going on, and I said, well, what's that piece of paper over there? It looks like I see a list of names on it. Oh, it says here it's VIP package. And I said, oh, really? Is my name on there? And she said, yes, it is. And so she crosses my name off. A little bit of a red flag. Hopefully that's not going to cause problems later.
Yeah, that the person working the door and running the club doesn't even see the piece of paper that has the names. Okay, that's all right. Okay. Back to you, Eric.
How many people are on that list? 6 people. I said, perfect.
Okay, 6. That's 1,800 plus 318. What, about 1,900? A couple of grand extra cash money in Ace's pocket.
People, the fewer people you have on the VIP experience, hopefully the longer you get to spend and hang out with the other VIPers and Ace himself. So the line starts to form, and I start hearing about other people that have the VIP package, and before you know it, there's like at least 100 people that bought a VIP package.
100 people?
It turns out that the venue was selling a VIP package, and Ace himself, off of his website, was selling a VIP package. The venue was going behind his back and selling their own VIP package? Package was $100. The Ace VIP package, as previously mentioned, $325 plus $500 if you want the guitar sign. So people are getting upset because the people that pay the $325 don't want to have to wait in this huge line, and the people that paid the $100, they want their VIP package. Well, evidently they started retracting.
I wonder what you get for the $100.
Recalling the venue VIP packages that were ordered because it was not authorized.
Now you got people that paid $100 pissed off.
Ace. So that was making the legit VIPers happy, but still, the people in the line were getting upset, and the line was starting to form. It's pouring rain, really bad weather.
Good. For $325, you get to stand outside in the rain.
Open at 7. Now it's 7:30. they finally got everything sorted out. They got us our special line. We got our tickets. We go in the venue.
How many people were in the line?
Things seem to be working smoothly.
6?
They say report to the merch booth at 9:45, and then we'll do the meet and greet, and then Ace will go on. I don't know, what was it, like 10:30 or 11 o'clock or something like that. So
there you go. Get them into the meet and greet late so you can say, sorry, I don't have any more time because I got to get ready to go on stage. Good plan. Sounds like a good plan to me if I was Ace Frehley.
Our little laminates, and I had number 9. As it turns out, by the time the show started.
So now it's 9. 9 times 325 is what? That's 9. 2,100, about 2,500 or more.
Or 20 people.
Now there's 20
package,
people.
so
20 people with VIP passes. 20 times $325 is it's math ain't me forte. 300 times 20, that's what, $6,000 plus another 25, $7,000, something like that. At least $6,000.
Sold another 14, or if they had another list that the woman didn't see. But all I know is I'm 9 of 20. Little lanyard here and whoop-de-doo. So
hold on a second. Hi, Martina just walked in the room. Hi, what? Oh. You're interrupting my show.
I brought you a piece of duck to try.
Duck?
Smoked duck.
Where did you get this? Smoked duck.
It's from Sam over T-Bound.
Oh. That's good duck.
Good,
okay,
right?
thank you, yes. I, as a rule, am against eating in front of the microphone, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm trying not to make a lot of noise. Back to you, Eric. All right, so now Ace has $20,000 in his pocket.
Running, things are looking.
For one show. Is that right? No. 20 people times 325 is, okay, $7,000.
Everybody reports, and so we're all wondering, well, where the heck are they going to have this VIP meeting? Because the VIP seating up above.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say there were no girls that paid for the VIP experience, Eric. Am I right?
Is stage left, pretty good seats, and there's a little plywood door that leads to the backstage area that can't seat more than half a dozen people. And if you've got the opening band going on, you got the loud music, you got the little cramped room. We just couldn't figure out how that was going to happen. So I was thinking, it's got to happen on the tour bus, unless they have another room in the back of the venue where they can fit all these people.
Well, good, you get to sit on Ace's tour bus.
And hopefully not with blaring music, so we can actually have...
sit on Ace's tour bus and smell the dirty socks.
Some quality time to do our thing. Well, at 9:45, we report to the merch booth, and sure enough, everybody go line out at the tour bus.
9:45, 45 minutes before he has to be on stage.
We're all getting excited. Okay, cool. This is going to be better than we gambled for. So they get us in line by our little lanyard number. I'm
Get in line! Number 9. Stand in line according to your laminate number. What's your number? Number 9. Get your 9. There's 8 people in front of you. Step in line, motherfuckers. I'm John Astronomy. I don't know if it's John Astronomy saying that, but whatever.
John Ostrowski starts walking.
John Ostrowski, excuse me.
The line of the people.
From Talking Metal.
Make sure we're in order.
And Mark Striegel, who was not there.
2, 3, show your lanyard and proof of your number. So
you got proof of your number! I'm John Ostrowski!
As a little bit of a tangent, it turns out that Michael,
I'm just kidding, John Ostrowski.
John Ostrowski is also a podcaster. Him and Mark Striegel have a podcast called Talking Metal.
Yes.
It's a pretty wide variety of hard rock topics, although a lot of it is heavily...
Yeah, thanks for the plug.
It's influenced because, obviously, John and Mark are huge.
Which, by the way, the Podcaster Hall of Fame nominees for this year were announced. Guess who's not in it? Guess who wasn't nominated? You got it.
Fans and so on and so forth. So Mark's making his way down the line, and I said, "Hey, John, my name's Eric. I'm a huge fan of the podcast.
Big fan.
This is great. You put this together.
Thank you so much, John, for letting me pay $325 to meet Ace Frehley. Thank you so much, John. Huge fan of the podcast, by the way.
and he's working his way down the line. And so...
I'm John Ostrowski. Get in line. All right. I say that with love, John Ostrowski. Seriously.
We're filing in the tour bus.
John Ostrowski, nice guy. I've met him when I was working in New York, helping somebody do something a long time ago, some podcast stuff. And he actually came to the hotel where I was staying and hung out with me. We had a beer. So John Ostrowski, nice guy, even though he never returned my emails or anything after he got a job with Ace Frehley. So he used to be nice. I don't know. Maybe he's not nice anymore.
At a time. And the instructions said you get one item to be signed.
One item only! His hands are getting tired!
Really I didn't want to bring all my albums and everything just in case he would sign one. I just really wanted to get...
I ain't signing all these records. I gotta get on stage in 45 minutes. I can't sign that one thing. You want a guitar signed? That'll be an extra $500, man! What you talking about? All right.
Two things I wanted to get accomplished.
Yeah.
Have him sign my leather jacket with the 50...
Ace Frehley, or excuse me, Eric Morton's got a leather jacket with like, I don't know, tons of autographs on it. Tons of autographs. I don't even know, but he's got, and inside the leather jacket is a laminated list of everybody who signs it. He was passing this thing around last night at the Pat Travers show. People were going, wow, look at all those signatures on your leather jacket. That's awesome, man. And he pulls out the laminated piece of paper and goes, here's who signed it. Because people would look trying to read all the signatures. He goes, here, just look at the list. So he's got a laminated list with all these people who signed it. It's awesome.
Signatures I have on there, and get an ID for my podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Morto's Metal Museum that doesn't exist.
Morto's Metal Museum. He started. Eric Mortensen started a podcast. You know what that means? It means soon he will no longer be listening to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Yes, friends, you too can start a podcast, like your friend Michael Butler, and make sure you stop listening. I hope Eric keeps listening, but chances are he will stop once he starts doing a podcast. But that's okay.
Quite yet because I haven't launched my first episode, but I want to get an ID from Ace since I'm there. Why not give it a try?
Yeah, $325. The least he can do is say, hi, this is Ace Frehley, and you're listening to Morto's Metal Experience.
So, I'm number 9.
It's not Morto's Metal Experience. I forget. Morto's Metal Museum. That's right, Eric? I think so.
It's called in, and then they have me come in and sit in the front seat of the tour bus while number 8's doing his thing.
Oh, hold on. I got to back up here.
Signatures I have on there, and get an ID for my podcast, Morto's Metal Museum, that doesn't exist quite yet because I haven't launched my first episode, but I want to get an ID from Ace since I'm there. Why not give it a try?
By the way, anybody wants to start a podcast, there's big money in it, friends. Big money in podcasting. You too can make big money. Just get a microphone, start a podcast like your friend Michael Butler. Big money. All right, back to you, Eric.
So, I'm number 9. Number 8 gets called in, and then they have me come...
Number 8! Get on the bus!
And sit in the front seat of the tour bus while number 8's
All
doing...
All right, number 9, you're going to sit on the front seat. We got number 8 here back in the lounge with Ace. And now, don't look! You're not allowed to look, number 9. Sit there, look straight ahead, and behave. I'm John Ostrowski.
Thing. And so then I'm next... Sit down with Ace. Hey, Ace, how's it?
You're next! 9! Hey, how you doing? I'm Ace. Hey, what's going on? What's your one item?
Do me a favor, sign my leather jacket, whip out a fresh...
Yeah, sure, I'll sign your leather jacket.
Previously
sure, why not?
Purchased on the way
yeah,
up.
I'll sign your jacket.
From Staples, so I know it's going to be perfect signature. He signs my jacket.
And brand new silver Sharpie.
I go, hey, instead of signing 9 other items like most of the other people in line before me, would you mind doing a quick ID for my podcast?
Uh-oh.
That's when hell broke loose.
Really?
Security immediately...
I ain't doing no ID for no... Security! Security! What? Really?
Signing 9 other items like most of the other people in line before me, would you mind doing a quick ID for my podcast?
Uh-oh.
That's when hell broke loose.
Why?
Security immediately descended on me.
What?
And shall we say, firmly but politely escorted me immediately off the tour bus.
Get this guy off my bus! He wants me to record an ID for his podcast. I don't like podcasts! I don't do podcasts! Get him off the bus! What the hell? You paid $300. Your guy can't talk into your phone and not do an ID for a podcast?
And so...
This is Ace Frehley. You're listening to Morto's Metal Museum. You can't say that. Take you 2 seconds. But he's got to get security guys to throw him off the bus after he paid $325?
John, the manager, is kind of like following me out. I'm clearly getting pissed off because what the hell just happened?
John Ostrowski's following him outside the bus.
Wasn't even given an opportunity to say yes or no. I was strong-armed and led off that tour bus.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
And so John pulls me in actually behind the back of the tour bus outside.
Hey, come here. Come here. You, number 9. Come here, back of the bus. I'm John Ostrowski from Talking Metal Podcast. Formerly of Talking Metal. Mark Striegel does it most of the work now. But I'm Ace's tour manager. I need to talk to you in the back of the bus.
So I goes, John, what the hell happened? This is bullshit. And to John's credit, he was very professional, very accommodating. He had a lot of crap to deal with. He's in charge of basically Ace's tour. You know, he's also his personal assistant. He's managing all the VIPers. He's having to deal with the venue. So
I don't understand why he got thrown off the bus for asking to say something for his podcast.
My hat's off to John for dealing with all that mayhem going on, and now he's dealing with a little bit of a disgruntled fan. So I have to give credit to John. He handled it very professionally.
Okay, what am I going to do? This guy's pissed off. We got his $325. We've already put it in the bank. I ain't giving him his money back. I got to diffuse the situation somehow here. I got to make him feel better. What do I do? I'm John Ostrowski. What do I do? Okay, I got it.
Basically explained to me that, look, Ace doesn't like any surprises.
Look, you surprised him. He doesn't like surprises, okay? He just thought it was a surprise.
Supposed to have, an item or two signed. It's very choreographed and regulated.
Choreographed?
And everything.
Come on. You gotta be kidding me.
Be done just so. And when you kind of threw that curveball at him, he doesn't like any surprises.
Curveball? You just asked him to say you're listening. This is Ace Frehley. I'm on the podcast. Big deal.
And he's going to get pissed off, and he's going to take it out on us.
Oh, you did that. He's going to get pissed off. He's going to take it out on us. He's going to yell at us now. Hey! Which one of you guys let this guy out? What? All right.
So they give us our little laminates,
Oh,
and
shit. I just fucking backed it up too far. Hold on, let me see here.
They go line out at the tour bus, so we're all getting excited.
Okay, wait a minute. I screwed up here.
Purchased on the way up from Staples, so I know it's going to mind doing a quick ID for my podcast.
I'm sorry. I fucking backed it up too far. I'm not as professional as some other podcasts. I'm sure Talking Metal would have done a way better job. I apologize.
That's when hell broke loose. Security immediately descended on me, and shall we say, firmly but politely escorted me immediately off the tour bus. And so as that's happening, John, the manager, is kind of like following me out. I'm clearly getting pissed off because what the hell just happened?
You should be pissed off.
Wasn't even given an opportunity to say yes or no. I was strong-armed and led off that tour bus. And so John
I wonder if there were other podcasters in previous times who have asked for an ID and that pissed him off. I interviewed Ace Frehley back a long time ago when I was playing with Ginger, and Ginger and I both interviewed Ace Frehley. I got him to do an ID for Good Clean Fun. I need to find that, I think, somewhere.
And actually behind the back of the tour bus outside and goes, John, what the hell happened? This is bullshit. And to John's credit, he was very professional, very accommodating. He had a lot of crap to deal with. He's in charge of basically Ace's tour. He's also his personal assistant. He's managing all the VIPers. He's having to deal with the venue. So my hat's off to John for dealing with all that mayhem going on. And now he's dealing with a little bit of a disgruntled fan. So I have to give credit to John. He handled it very professionally. Basically explained to me that, look, Ace doesn't like any surprises. You're supposed to have, an item or two signed. It's very choreographed and regulated, and everything has to be done just so.
It would have taken 2 seconds to
and when you
record
kind
an
of
ID.
threw that curveball at him, he doesn't like any surprises, and he's going to get pissed off, and he's going to take it out on us. And so we wanted to diffuse the situation.
He's going to get pissed off and take it out on everybody else on the tour because a guy asked him to speak into his phone for 2 seconds.
As quickly as possible, get you off so that he didn't have a time to react.
Yeah. Quick time, get you on, get him in, get him out, get the $325, get him in, get him out, 15 seconds, $325.
I'm thinking, react to having him
Friends,
spend...
this is why VIP experiences suck. All right? If I was doing a VIP experience, I would invite you. You'd be hanging out with me all day. By the way, there's a Rock and Roll Geek VIP experience, by the way, on the for if you pay $250, you come to my house, I make you dinner, you come on the show, I give you all the beer you can drink. We have a good time. As good of a time as can be had at my house with my nutty house. All right, back to you, Eric.
Literally 4 seconds saying, hey, this is Ace Frehley. You're listening to Morto's Metal
5
podcast.
seconds.
Thanks, Ace. Done. I took
But
quicker than
instead-
everybody else before me. And
But instead, he makes a big, huge scene, has you ejected from the bus. Mark Ostrowski's got to do damage control, play good cop, bad cop, get you, make you feel better. He could have just done it and gotten out of there. Ridiculous, man. I'm sorry, John Ostrowski. That is... It's not your fault, John Ostrowski. You're dealing with somebody who's clearly got a little bit of an ego, maybe. I don't know. He was nice to me.
the rest of the people behind me appreciate it. That's how it should have gone.
Yes.
But it didn't. And so basically John said, hey, Eric, I tell you what. And I said, hey, man, from one podcaster to another, come on, let's have each other's back.
We're in the podcasting game, man.
He said, what can you do for me? Can I?
Come on.
He says, I tell you what.
What can you do for me, fellow podcaster? We're podcasters here. The Brotherhood of Podcasters.
You've got my email.
By the way, Talking Metal will be in the Podcast Hall of Fame before the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Trust me. Oh, fuck. Am I bitter? Yes.
Email me your contact information.
Okay.
I'll see if I can do a quick ID from Ace and email it to you, and then we're...
Email me your contact information. I will personally get Ace to do an ID for you, and I'll email it back to you.
good to go. So
We'll be good to go.
I followed up with an email.
That'll get him out of there.
On a few days later.
Okay, so a few days later, he sends him an email. Hey, reminding you about that ID. Okay.
Still haven't heard from him.
Oh!
I'm going to probably hit him up with another reminder
It's been a month. Still no ID. Okay.
in a couple days. I think he's going to pull through. He may have been giving me bullshit, but he seems like...
Mark Striegel, if you happen to be listening to the Rock and Roll Geek Show, get John Astronomy to get Ace to do a stupid ID. How hard can it be, man? What's the big deal? The guy paid $325.
genuinely nice guy. He was truly apologetic about...
Yeah, John Ostrowski's a nice guy. Like I said, when I met him, he was a super nice guy. Just get Ace to do a stupid ID. What's the big deal, man? $325.
what happened. In hindsight, I probably should have clued him in that I was planning to do that while he was
And
making
trust
his
me, this stuff was
through
planned.
the line. I didn't think it was a big deal.
It's not a big
any event,
deal.
got my jacket signed.
By the way, a tip to all podcasters who want to get an ID from somebody. If you want an ID from somebody, hit record on your phone or whatever recording device. Hit record before you ask for the ID, okay? That's just a little tip from a podcaster who is not in the Podcast Hall of Fame, okay?
that was my number one priority.
We're
The
already
ID was
50 minutes into the show. We haven't gotten into anything. I apologize, friends.
kind of gravy if it happened, and who knows, it may happen still. So I'm still holding my fingers, keep my fingers crossed that John's going to do the right thing. Anyway, Talking Metal podcast for all of you podcasters who'd like to listen to podcasts. It's on iTunes, so there's a plug
Thanks
for John.
the plug.
Anyway,
Thank you.
the show was awesome. Ace was great. He's clean and sober and played awesome. Richie Scarlett is back in his band. Richie goes back to his Frehley's Comet days, I believe, or even earlier. And so Band did great. The sound was awesome. The VIP seating was great. Really no complaints.
Did he see you when he was playing? Did he look over at you, the guy who he had ejected from the tour bus?
A small, intimate club that no one's
How
heard
many
of.
people
I would
were
say it
there?
was probably half full. I don't know. I would venture to say maybe 200 people.
200 people, okay. Well, he's a big, huge star. You can't be asking a big, huge star like that for an ID. Come on.
But it was a great time to be had by all. Got back to the
200
hotel,
people.
got up the next day, checked out, came home, and all in all, a great experience.
Did you get your $325 worth, Eric? You got a story out of it.
Know that you were anxious to have me recall the story because of the whole being escorted off the tour bus incident. Thought your listeners may get a chuckle out of that. Anyway, that's it for this post-concert Ace Frehley report. What else can I say? Pat Travers was great last night.
Yes, fantastic.
I'll let you do a little bit of a blurb on that.
Already did it.
Seeing his three-piece in San Francisco was, the venue capacity was 122 people, so I would say there's probably 100 people there. Another great experience seeing one
It
of
was
our
fantastic.
favorite icons in a small, intimate setting. So I'll let you elaborate on that. Anyway, this is the Metal CPA, Eric Mortensen, checking out from San Mateo, California, in the Bay Area.
And Eric's going to do my taxes.
Stay frosty,
for
my
me.
friend.
Stay frosty. You too can leave me a show review. If you get thrown out, if you paid for a VIP experience and all you got was this lousy ejection from the tour bus, call area code 706-621-ROCK and relay it to your friend Michael Butler. Or do like Eric did and record an MP3 and just email it to me at rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Seriously, John Ostrowski, nice guy. Ace Frehley's probably not the most easy guy to deal with, and John probably doesn't want to lose his job. But what is the big deal? Seriously, what's the big deal? The guy paid $325. He got one thing. He got his jacket signed and thrown off the tour bus. All right, let's play a song and we'll come back and do some other things. I got a ton of audio comments. It's going to be a little bit of a long show. I hope you're okay with that, friends. I'm going to play something brand new from my friend Sven Spacebrain from the Torpedohead. This is another world exclusive. He gave it to me first. This song is called Blood on Wheels from Torpedohead.
She's alright, blood on wheels.
There you go. Brand new Torpedohead. Catchy. Oh, shit. Sorry. I like that song. Thank you, Sven, for sending me that. It's rocking and catchy. That's how rock and roll should be, friends. Who am I to say? But I know what I like, and I like that. Thanks, Sven. I appreciate it. He's going to come on. We're going to do a track by track of the entire album when it's done. All right, another audio comment. Here we go.
Michael Butler, this is JB.
Hey, JB.
Calling from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nice.
And I was calling, been meaning to call you for a while to give you a show review. I went and saw AC/DC at the MGM Grand Garden here in Las Vegas. That was in February. But before I get into that, number one, I want to give you a toast to whatever you're drinking. I myself
Fine
right
Tecate.
now am having a Guinness West Indies Porter.
Nice.
This is a
West
special
Indies?
brew for the St. Patrick's holiday
Oh,
season,
nice.
I believe. So, cheers to you, Michael.
I'll take a sip of this Fine Tecate.
Before I get into the show review, just a quick note that earlier call I had made where I listed the names of potential Rock and Roll Hall of Fame snubs. I'd like to apologize for my accident where the discussion was about Peter Frampton, and I made a comment about him being in Mott the Hoople, and that was, of course, wrong.
I corrected you and said it was Humble Pie.
Been Humble Pie. I knew that. That was just a mistake on my part. As
Simple
soon as I heard
mistake.
you
Honest
say that,
mistake.
or heard myself say it on the podcast, I was like, what
Happens
the
to
hell?
the best of us,
I could
friends.
just picture all the rock and roll geek fans
Yeah.
screaming at their electronic devices.
We all do it. It's no big deal.
How wrong I was about Mott the Hoople instead of Humble Pie. I still have no idea why I made that slip of the tongue. But anyway, on to the show review. Now, of course, the show review takes on a much different tone now, as we all have learned that suddenly Brian Johnson is no longer going to be able to tour.
That's right.
This is probably the
What a
end
story this
of
is. I didn't do a show when this story came out. I should have done an emergency episode, but I just did not have time. I was so busy and so tired from being busy every day. But lots has happened in the AC/DC camp. Brian Johnson no longer in AC/DC. Wow. What a... Wow. All right, back to you, JP.
He is, we know it, with the total hearing loss threat that he is facing. And
Which, by the way, is not due to playing rock and roll. It's due to sitting in a race car without earplugs, and he could have done these 10 shows, and I will get into that a little bit later.
now it makes me even more happy that I had a chance to see them. I had
Me
never
too.
seen AC/DC
Never
live.
seen AC/DC?
I've always
I saw them on their first U.S. tour. They were in Jacksonville Coliseum, opening for, I've said this many times, opening for REO Speedwagon. REO Speedwagon had that live album out. I forget the name of the live REO Speedwagon. It was a good live album. They opened for REO Speedwagon, and the rest is history.
wanted to see them, and that desire grew over the last years as my appreciation for AC/DC has grown tremendously over the last 10 years probably.
Kept their integrity the entire time. Oh, how things have changed.
A fan probably more of the Bon Scott years. However, I do
liked
like
Brian
the
Johnson.
AC/DC also, so at least I got to see one version of it. And although this version
I saw
didn't
them
have
every time they came when Bon Scott was alive. Every tour that they did with Bon Scott in the U.S., I saw. Am I bragging? Yes.
Young, I would prefer to have seen a version with Malcolm Young and Phil Rudd. I had to take what I could get. So I threw out the dollar bills to get this. It was not a cheap ticket to get.
$100.
However, I had to buy it on the secondary market, but I'm glad I bought it when I did, because as the show got closer, the value of the tickets were getting outrageous.
Oh, really?
If
Yeah.
something had come up where I couldn't have gone, I could have made a healthy profit on it. But anyway, I was able to go. The place was packed, and I'm so glad I went, because
At this point, now it's Angus. It's just people like Eddie Trunk said, people want to hear the songs, and they want to see Angus on stage. They don't care who else is in the band.
the best fucking rock shows
Great.
I have seen in so long.
Yes.
It was both great and kind of almost bittersweet sad because you realized nobody knows how to do it anymore. These bands that could really pull it off are all going away, and it just really bums me out
And
because
they're all
I don't know
dying.
if I'm going to see a rock show, a huge, big rock show that great anytime in the near future. The opening act was a band called
Vintage Trouble, right?
Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
No.
They were unbilled, so I didn't know. I didn't even think there even was going to be an opening act, but you know, they were pretty good. They had a very retro sound and look to me.
Yeah,
But I
so
think
did Vintage Trouble. Vintage Trouble had the guy that was on Rockstar NXS. The guy's name is Ty Taylor. He had a mohawk back then. When I saw him, Vintage Trouble was the opener. He was singing for Vintage Trouble. Back in Rockstar NXS, the guy had a mohawk, and then now he's doing a James Brown impersonation. So I guess another retro type act opened up for JB's show.
very young, but nothing really bad to say about them. But like I said, kind of a retro look. But they seem to have the right spirit. As for AC/DC, the lights go down. They get this. I think you said you saw them up at the Giant
AT&T
Stadium
Park.
up there. They were doing
I
the
did the
outdoor
Periscope. My name is R&R Geek. I Periscoped a few songs, I think.
shows. So I'm assuming it's the same type of stage setup. The lights go
Probably the
down, the
exact
video
same
screen
one.
comes up. They get like this long lead in where it shows like a spaceman on the moon and stuff. It's pretty cool. Got some explosions. And the first song of the set list, Rock or Bust off the new album.
It's Rock or
Which is
Bust!
probably one of the better songs, I think, on their new album.
In Rock
Then
we
second
trust!
song was Shoot to Thrill.
Shoot
which
the thrill!
was
Play
killer
the
to me
kill!
because that's probably my favorite song off the Back in Black
Pull
album.
the trigger!
Next was Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be.
That
which
ain't
was
no bad
awesome,
place to
just
be.
Great.
Boom,
I mean,
boom, boom.
I know a lot of I know their set list is pretty much the same, and they probably do everything the same. But for me, this was all new, and seeing Angus
Sure.
put the devil horns up
course.
as they led into that song was awesome.
Yeah, and everybody in the crowd is wearing the Angus light up horns. It's great. It's a great experience.
Next song was Back in Black, which
Back
for
in
me,
Black!
again, as a newbie to an AC/DC show, I was kind of surprised that song is played so early in the set list, obviously being such a huge song of theirs.
Every song was huge,
But,
though.
Anyway, of course, that was great. Then about that time, I was starting to hit the whiskey pretty hard that night, so I
There
had to
you
go get a
go.
refill.
There you
And
go.
I'm glad I went at that time because, not that it's a bad song, but
Well,
the
play
next song
ball.
was Got Some Rock and Roll Thunder, which is off the new album also. And I
Got
don't
some
really
rock and
know
roll
that song.
thunder? What's that?
I was coming back to my seat just as they went to Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap.
Dirty D's, Thunder Deep.
Great. Then next was Thunderstruck, which is a
Thunder! Oh, thunder! That's one of my favorites. That is a rock anthem of all time.
song. I've always liked the song, but it's always been a bit overplayed. But their lead into that was so awesome with
Oh,
their
yeah.
light show and the lightning and stuff. And I'm like, I was just, all I could think was,
Religious experience.
why are there no bands that can do this anymore? Why
No.
all the bands that figured it out are all going away because it was so awesome. Then High Voltage.
Hi! Oh,
And
shit. Oh, shit. Oh, I just
hit
fucked
pretty
it.
hard that night, so I had to go get a
Okay,
refill.
I back.
And
Sorry.
I'm glad
Sorry. Here we go.
got some Rock and Roll Thunder, which is off the new album also, and I don't really know that song. I was coming back to my seat just as they went to Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap, which was great. Then next was Thunderstruck, which is a song.
Sorry, I hit the rewind button. I've had a couple of beers, friends. I apologize.
Lead into that was so awesome with their light show and
Talking
the
Metal would
lightning
never
and
do
stuff.
that.
And I'm like, I was just, all I could think was, why are there no bands that can do this anymore? Why do all the bands that figured it out are all going away? Because it was so awesome. Then High Voltage, great song. Then Rock and Roll Train, that's off of Black Ice.
Yes.
Pretty good song, but it's actually not one of my favorite songs off that Black Ice album. Hell's Bells, of course, they had the big giant bell come down swing. Giving the Dog a Bone, that was a little bit of a surprise for me.
Giving the
I
dog
wasn't
a
expecting that song.
bone. It's a great
Then
tune.
they played Sin City, which I know has been in their set list, but of course, It's kind of a clever little tune to play in Las Vegas, and Brian Johnson made a comment about that.
We're in Vegas.
Then they played "You Shook
Sin
Me All
City.
Night Long," song we've all heard a million times.
Shook me all night
Take a break here, get
long.
another drink of my Guinness West Indies Porter.
There you go. We take a sip
Go
of my
ahead and
fine
have
Tecate.
Drink of your Tecate, whatever you got.
There you go.
Then they played "Shot Down in Flames."
Shut down in flames!
Again, so awesome. The guitar solo, where Angus is just doing it's like one pick slide followed by another pick slide followed by another pick.
Singles
So
by,
awesome.
got my
The whole
eye
place
on
was
a
standing the
honey.
entire time. I mean, I just don't see that much anymore, especially with the older acts, with the older crowds. I mean, everybody was on their feet the entire
Yes,
time,
of
just
course.
pumping their fists, and it was just
A great rock
just
show.
A great rock show. Then they played. I guess this was. I didn't realize this was a surprise, but apparently this was a surprise based on this tour where they played "Have a Drink on Me," which is a
Have
great
a
song.
drink on
I
me.
guess the first time they've played.
Have a drink on
30 years or
me.
something like that. I don't know. Then came kind of the standard. I think the way they end their shows. TNT.
Oi.
Water Rosie.
Oi.
With the,
No,
of
no,
course,
no,
the
no,
giant
no.
inflatable Rosie.
Yes.
Then Let There Be Rock with long
In the
Angus
beginning!
Young guitar solo.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
great.
awesome. He came out in the middle of a crowd with a stage
great.
elevated.
It's great.
Again, once again, I can't say enough. These guys know how to do a rock show. Then they ended up. I can't remember if they. I think maybe this was the encore break, and they came back out and did "Highway to Hell," which I knew that was coming. Which to me,
Banana.
in my opinion, that might be one of the greatest rock songs of all time. I mean, it's up there in the top 10. It's just everything about that song is perfect, if you ask me. And then, of course, they finished with "For Those About to Rock, We Salute You."
Yes.
With
21
the Kenyans
gun
and so on.
salute.
Again, zero complaints about that.
Fire.
So glad
Great
now
time.
that I
Yeah,
saw them.
Exactly. Who are you going to see playing for him
Because
now?
now we hear about Brian Johnson. Again, I didn't get to see him with
But
Malcolm
the
and
list,
Phil Rudd.
the
but
list is out there. So many people are giving are coming out of the woodwork, offering their services. By the way, I want to go on record as Michael Butler from the Rock and Roll Geek Show wants to make an announcement right here. I'm available to be the new singer of AC/DC. I just want to make it. I just want to put that out there. Okay, all right, because everybody's now putting it out there that they're available.
great Stevie Young and I think his name's Chris Slade is his name.
Chris Slade,
They were
he was
great.
on
The
Razor's
thing that
Edge.
was really amazing to me is as far as I can tell, no backing vocals of any kind.
No, there's
even
no
though
backing
they sound a
tracks.
little rough at the beginning. The backing.
I think the only
vocals
backing track they use is that bell, the Hell's Bells bell. I think.
at the beginning of Thunderstruck, if you know what I'm talking about. It was kind of funny when I took some video clips of it and I was watching it and I was like, man, there's no backing tracks there. That's just a couple old
It's
guys
Angus.
back there singing that. Anyway, so great rock show. Man, I was
Fantastic
gonna say
rock
when
show.
I gave this review, hey, if you've never seen AC/DC, go out there and see it. To all your rock and roll geek fans, but sounds like maybe it's not going to happen. Which brings up two questions I want to pose to you.
It's going to happen
Michael
because Angus wants to keep it going, which you have to. I mean, everybody, as much as everybody says, why don't they just hang it up? Angus doesn't want to hang it up. If the guy doesn't want to hang it up, he should not hang it up. But that being said, I don't know what JB's going to ask me. I could be answering his question right now. If Brian Johnson just came out and said, I can't do any more shows, I'm done. I got to retire. We got to cancel these shows. That's a shitty thing to do. If you only have 10 more shows on the tour, finish the shows. Whether you got hearing or not, finish the damn shows. All right? Put your plugs in, finish the show. Or finish the tour. If that's the case. But that's not what I heard. The Jim Brewer, I'm getting ahead of myself because I got other audio comments about this. But if that was the case, Angus is within his right to keep doing it. The guy, why should anybody, if you want to keep rocking, why, just because, it's done, why can't you keep rocking? He is AC/DC. Well, Malcolm and Angus together were AC/DC. But Malcolm is not capable of doing it. Angus doesn't want to stop. Why should he stop? Would it be better for him to do a blues album and do that? To me, yes. But to Angus, no. Angus wants to keep AC/DC going. There's lots of money to be made, which I know the guy's worth $120 million or whatever. Is it greedy? I heard Brian Johnson said that little motherfucker, all he cares about is money. That may be the case, but it's his band. If the guy doesn't want to stop playing, why should he stop playing? If people are still willing to pay money to see Angus out there as the face of AC/DC, which he has always been, even though the hardcore rock and roll fans know that that AC/DC wasn't just about Angus, Malcolm and Phil, all those guys, and Cliff Williams, by the way, doesn't get the credit he deserves for being a great bass player. Those guys were the heart and soul of AC/DC to me and everybody else that was hardcore fans. But to the casual AC/DC fans, most of the ones that are paying to see them live, it's Angus. And if Angus wants to keep doing it, who are we to tell Angus to hang it up? Now, but that being said, with all these lists of people coming out as possible replacements for Brian Johnson, Mark Storis from Crocus. I'm trying to list all these people if I can remember. Mark Storis from Crocus, to me, too typical. I vote no. The guy from the Hives, which one of these indie rock guys, the Hives or Killers or one of those guys, offered his services? No. I heard that it was going to be Jimmy Barnes from who's an Australian icon. Jimmy Barnes, was he in Cold Chisel? That's a good choice to me, but I doubt that'll happen because nobody in the United States knows who Jimmy Barnes is. But then again, it's all Angus, so who cares? The most recent thing. See if I can find it here. Which is absolutely. Oh, by the way, the original singer for AC/DC, Dave Evans, is that his name? Says he's available. Yeah, okay, there you go. No, not going to happen. But the most recent thing, rumors persist that Axl Rose will sing for AC/DC. Axl Rose, according to the Pulse of Radio, a rumor that started earlier this week suggesting Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose will perform as a guest vocalist with AC/DC. It's gained traction after Atlanta's Rock 100.5 host Jason Bailey claimed that a very, very good source confirmed to him that the collaboration was happening. I love how all these people have inside information, which none of them have inside information. The rumor began after AC/DC postponed the last 10 shows. You know all that. But Axl Rose has been spotted, photographed in Atlanta, where AC/DC is reportedly meeting with potential singers. The DJ said, "This is what I'm being told. Axl was meeting with AC/DC group because it's all but a done deal that Axl will front AC/DC for the 10 remaining shows." Now, what do I think about that? I have no desire to see AC/DC with Axl Rose singing AC/DC songs. Which, by the way, some of the blabbermouth comments, well, the real question you should ask is, why is Brian out? Okay, no. Let's see. Definitely April Fool's Day with Guns N' Roses. I do apologize. Guns N' Roses supposed to reunion. Okay, that was stupid. Put Brian in a soundproof box. RIP AC/DC. Fuck Axl Rose. Let me see some of these other. There were some other funnier comments, but I can't find them, of course. Okay, fuck. Okay, let's see. This must be a fucking joke. Axhole croaking AC/DC classics. Bon Scott is probably rolling in his grave right now. They should get Udo Dirkschneider. That'd be cool. You know who I think they should get? And I'm probably in the very much of the minority with this. I think they should get Angry Anderson from Rose Tattoo. That would be a rock and roll religious experience. Just picture. I don't know if you know Rose Tattoo, but let me see if I can find some Rose Tattoo on my iTunes here. Rose Tattoo. Let me see. Let's see. Let me find. Okay, Rose. I have this new iTunes, and I don't know how to. I can't figure it out. Yes. Listen. Get it to MC.
Your last chance. can step away right now. Well, you still got teeth in your head.
Just picture Angus on stage with this voice.
You better get out of my way.
It would be rock and roll to the fucking core, man. There is no more rock and roll person than Angry Anderson.
Oh, bitch, you don't come around, or else you'll get something heavy. 6 feet of solid ground.
This voice singing Hell's Bells. The guy is a preacher for rock and roll. It would be a rock and roll revival, man, a religious experience. AC/DC would be reborn, in my opinion, with Angry Anderson on vocals.
But then I used to be a peaceful man.
Fuck. How great would that be? I'm sorry. Back to you, JB.
On this show, number one.
Oh, he's got questions for me. Okay, let me rewind. Let me see if I can rewind. He's had a little preamble here.
Geek fans, but sounds like maybe it's not going to happen. Which brings up 2 questions I want to pose to you.
I probably
Michael
just answered
Butler,
them, right?
On this show. Number one, as you've probably heard, I think they're going to try to reschedule their last 10 shows, and they're talking about bringing in guest singers or a guest singer. If Michael Butler could pick that singer or multiple singers, who would they be? Who do you think could go and finish out that tour?
Listen to this again, JB.
Day of flowers and love, but I believe in my soul and the grace of the good Lord above. But I was supposed to change my tune from candles and grace by the power of the filthy dollar. Everybody was kicking in my face. And there's no peace in this world that's back. Just take a good look at.
Come on, to me, that's the obvious choice, man. Fucking Angry Anderson, the most rock and roll front man, 5 feet tall, bald, suspenders, tattoos all over him. Come on, that is rock and roll. That would be the best AC/DC ever. Fuck. Oh, it'd be so great. All right, I think that answered. That's my opinion, JB.
And bring the spirit of those songs and
that is the spirit.
Well.
That is
Second
it.
question I have for you.
Fucking Axl Rose. It'd probably be a good draw. People would go to see Axl singing for AC/DC. But do I give 2 shits? I could care less about seeing AC/DC with Axl Rose. To me, that'll kill the name AC/DC. But this guy would not kill the name AC/DC.
So I'm gonna stand there and I'll fight you, son.
That would carry the torch.
Puts me down, call me the black-eyed. Oh, they call me the black-eyed. Call me the black-eyed bruiser.
Come on, it's obvious. It's fucking obvious.
What's happened to Brian Johnson? Has Michael Butler, in all his years of being in rock band...
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the question. I'll get back. Come on. You got to be with me on that, right? Angry Anderson is the new singer for AC/DC. It just seems so easy to me.
Bring the spirit of those songs and do it well. Second question I have for you, based on what's happened to Brian Johnson, has Michael Butler, in all his years of being in rock bands and touring and playing live shows, have you, Michael Butler, ever suffered from any type of hearing problems?
Please, are you kidding me? The last Butler's gig we played this place in Pacifica, which is about 10 miles south of here. Which, by the way, I said this on Mad at Dad, the entire crowd looked like Fred Durst. That being said, we thought we were going to get our asses beat. They ended up liking us. But it was so loud in there, and the monitors, there was this high-pitched monitor squeal. my ears are still ringing. So do I have any hearing loss? My daughter talks to me, and I can't hear what she says, and she thinks that I've lost my hearing. So yes, my ears are ringing right now. My ears have been constantly ringing probably since I was probably 21 years old. So yes, I have. Hey, but it's rock and roll, man. It's rock. It's what happens when you're into rock and roll. That's what happens. You live with it.
Anyway, that's my show review. Those are my questions for you. Again, I apologize for the Mata Hoopa
Hour
mistake.
and 22 minutes into this, by the way. Got a long way to go.
For Peter Frampton. Anyway, cheers, Michael Butler, and stay frosty.
Stay frosty, friend. You too can leave me you too can leave me a show review or audio comment. Area code 706-621-ROCK. That's area code 706-621-7625. Or you can do like JB from Vegas did and just email it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right, on ACDC, another comment.
Hey, Michael Butler. BJ Lisco here from Turbo Lovers in Youngstown, Ohio, calling in. How are you?
I'm super great. Couldn't be
Good to
bad.
hear, man. Good to hear. I wanted to call in and comment on Brian Johnson from AC/DC and his apparent abrupt departure.
All right, I'm going to pause this because I'm going to go to the bathroom in my pants if I don't, so hang on, friends. All right, I am back. Back to you, BJ Lisco.
Abrupt retirement from AC/DC. It's a total bummer, obviously, man. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope there's something they can do for his hearing that would allow him, to hopefully finish these dates out or at least be able to perform in some capacity, when he wanted to in the future.
According to Jim Brewer, the comedian who's supposedly a good friend, you've all read this, you all know this, but according to Jim Brewer, and BJ Lisco wrote an article about this, according to Jim Brewer, Brian Johnson said, I went to the doctor, and he said that if I have to stop doing this. I have to stop playing. I have to cancel the tour because if I don't cancel the tour, I'm going to lose my hearing for the rest of my life. But I wanted, according to Jim Brewer, this is what Brian Johnson says. He said, I want to figure out a way to do these remaining shows. Let's work it out. Let's figure it out. I think the doctor's wrong, and I want to do the shows. This is what Brian Johnson told Jim Brewer. Next thing he knows, all of his luggage is on his front driveway. Everything he owns that's in AC/DC is on his driveway. He's ejected from the band. Press releases were out there that Brian Johnson is no longer in AC/DC and they're getting a replacement singer. If that's the case, what AC/DC did to Brian Johnson was a shitty thing to do. But that being said, there are two sides to every story, and the Youngs, George and Angus, the AC/DC is George Young from the Easy Beats, the guys, Vanda Young, Malcolm Young, and Angus. Those three guys are AC/DC. It's a family-run business. If that is the case, what Brian Johnson said, that is a shitty thing for the Youngs to do. But there are two sides to every story, so we only know Brian Johnson's side of the story through Jim Brewer, who's a comedian. So we have not really heard it from Brian Johnson's mouth. All right, back to you, BJ Lisco.
I think the general consensus among AC/DC fans, myself included, is that the band should stop. I mean, I cannot possibly see these guys.
Again. Who are we to tell Angus that they have to stop? This is Angus's livelihood. It's his band. Why should anybody have to stop what they want to do? If we want them to stop, don't go to their shows.
A third singer. It's just too awkward. The guy's been there for 36 years.
Yes, it's awkward. But listen to, it's awkward. But imagine Imagine this. Let me see. Imagine this. Welcome to AC/DC, motherfuckers. I'm Angry Anderson.
The charge was assault and battery. The judge said there'd be no bail.
Imagine them bringing back Jailbreak with this.
The track me
wouldn't want to see AC/DC with that? Come on. Come on.
That Angus wants to keep going on. Angus is, younger, obviously. He's 8 or 9 years younger than Brian. He just turned 60. I think Brian's 68. And, obviously Angus has the right to tour and whatnot.
Exactly.
But, he could do pretty much whatever he wants.
As fans, I know we are entitled to, we are entitled to our opinions as fans. But who are we to say? We're just fans. If we don't want to see it, don't go to the shows.
Young. I mean, it's not like they need the money here for touring. So I really just hope, and I have tickets, or I bought tickets to the Cleveland show, and I haven't.
I guarantee you, BJ Lisco, if you have a ticket to the Cleveland show, if they have a guest singer, you will be at that show. You will be there. I know for a fact you will not turn in your ticket. Everybody's going to be there. They want to see who they're going to get. And damn it, it should be this guy right here. Just imagine fucking Angry Anderson on stage with Angus. Mark Storis, no fucking way. Angry Anderson, hell yeah. Axl Rose, no fucking way. But Angry Anderson, hell yeah. The guy from the Hives or whoever, fuck no. Dave Evans, no. Angry Anderson, motherfuckers, Angry Anderson. Are you listening, Angus? I know he listens to the show, I just know he does. Come on! It's so obvious. It's so fucking obvious. To me, anyway.
Refund yet. I didn't.
Do you disagree with me? rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Tell me I'm an idiot and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I know I'm right.
I want to kind of see what happens here. Obviously, if they just cancel the shows, I'll get the refund, but
they're not going to cancel.
I'm curious to see what they're going to do here.
Of course you are.
Before I get the tickets refunded, but I really, really hope that they cancel these shows and just and out of respect for the guy. I mean, he's there for 36 years, and I know Brian himself has said that if he couldn't get the job done, find somebody else. He said that to Brendan O'Brien, the producer of the Black Ice record, before he went in, and he's made that remark a few times. If he wasn't up to the job, that they could find somebody who was. But that's just Brian's nature. He's a nice guy, but I really hope AC/DC. I know they're more brand than band now. I know they're very much.
Listen, they should really try to work it out with Brian Johnson. And just finish these shows. But if not, to me, there's only one choice. And that's this. Yeah, okay, back to you, BJ.
A commercial entity, as we kind of talked about with Jesse Fink in the podcast we did, a year or so ago. But
been that long ago?
It's just a total bummer, and I really, really hope that Angus, in the AC/DC camp, pretty much the Young family reconsiders going out with a guest vocalist. I don't care who
Angry
it is.
Anderson
Singing for AC/DC. It would be just disrespectful, I think, to a guy that has really been kind of the spokesperson for AC/DC for the last 36 years. To just. He deserves better than that. I mean, he really does. Just and with Angus being the only original member now, which he has been the only original member for a while, but the only with it just Angus and Cliff from the Back in Black lineup left. It's time to move on. I think that's the general sentiment, and I don't want to ramble here too long, brother, but just wanted to give my 2 cents, man. I really, appreciate you doing the Rock and Roll Geek Show, as I think do all your listeners, man. And I'll let you go here, my friend. But hopefully this turns out, this whole thing turns out well for everybody. It would be awesome if Brian was able to, come back and finish these dates, and it'd be great to see him. It'd be great if he got to do one more run where he could say, yeah, this is my final run, and then I'm done. At least have that opportunity to do it. But time will tell, I guess. So, anyways, Michael, I'll let you go here, my friend. But stay frosty, and we'll talk to you soon.
Stay
Cheers,
frosty, buddy. BJ Cramp. You too. All right. Area code 706-621-ROCK. That's area code 706-621-7625. All right, I think I should probably wrap this up. We're an hour and 33 minutes. I got a lot more to do. I got a Megadeth comment. I got another call from BJ Lisco. I got a guy from Atlanta telling me that I can't sing again. Lots more to talk about, friends. Lots more to do. I need to do a show way earlier. But we're going to wrap this up here. This is part 1. We'll get to part 2 coming up as soon as I get time, as soon as I can physically get myself in front of the mic to talk. I will continue this show, okay, friends? But we're an hour and a half into this. I want to wrap this up, and we will do it very soon. Thank you for listening. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. What do I have see, now I got to just continue with the Rose Tattoo. Lots more to play, but now I got to do Rose Tattoo now. What do I want to play from Rose Tattoo? Since I lost the iTunes and got a new computer, I don't have all of my Rose Tattoo, but I'm going to play. Let's see, what do I have? What do I have to play from Rose Tattoo? Let's see. We'll just play this and we'll leave it. Come on. There's only one choice, friends. We'll talk to you very, very soon. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com, area code 706-621-ROCK. Find me on the Facebook, O&rsquo. Find me on the Twitter, O&rsquo. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek. Don't ask. And thank you for the donations, friends. We'll talk to you very soon.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.